from Solus Security, Hariom Sharma. He's the entrepreneur, co-founder as well as director. Well, Hariom is responsible for marketing strategies, product planning, resource planning and management, networking and business partnerships at Solus. Since inception of Solus, he's played a key role from conceptualization to implementation of many large-size enterprise security deployment projects at some of the large corporates in the country as well as abroad. Well, he's a father of two and a wildlife enthusiast with keen interests in adventure sports. He's also a qualified skydiver. All that I can say to you, sir, you're at the right destination. Goa offers you lots. So if you're staying longer, I hope you can experience Goa to the best.
Every good thing is to come to an end, and probably that's the reason my friend Sandesh has kept this presentation at the end. Okay, so since I am the last speaker, so it's important to recap what all we have learned in this entire day, and whether it's passing its objective what we have set in the beginning. I mean, we promise that if you come to this iConnect event, you will take home a lot of learnings from us. So let's review what all we have learned today. I mean, the first speaker, Sudhindra, are you here? So what I can remember beyond the good quality cameras, what he has talked about, but also he's been a amidst theatre player, which is I've just learned today, so that probably I'll remember. And the next speaker, we are talking about, the next was Anand from Switch side. So he talked about that Allied Telesis is able to do good in terms of the redundancy. He also shared very interesting failure analytics analysis, that what actually makes an integrated system to fail. So that was an interesting point. And followed by Yash, he talked a lot of things about designing an enterprise solution. So very interesting coverage about the milestone. And then we had a friend from Molex, Selvan, and he talked about the importance of cables and a lot of insights related to the design. And Amit from EMC, and he also has gotten a lot of detailing about storage importance. And finally, Rajat, he talked about sensor and how video analytics is able to do good than the earlier days. So that means that gives us a feeling that everything is sound and perfect. I have gotten a camera perfect, I have got switch perfect, I've got analytics also working, everything is fine. So that means, can we take it up that your facility is 100% secure? Can we? This is still a myth. Guaranteeing something that nothing will go wrong or I am attack proof, it's a myth. If this is a myth, then what the reality is. So we are going to learn into the next 30 minutes that what is that probably can be a reality. So when I say if security, I mean if attack proof, being attack proof is not, it can't be guaranteed, but definitely our ability to respond to any eventuality can be guaranteed. Our preparedness, how well prepared we are, so in case if something goes wrong, how quick we are in a position to respond to it or deal with the disaster probably can be a reality at our place, so that we can guarantee, yes, this is what we've done. Colonel Ramesh has talked about his journey in terms of implementing 5,000 plus cameras today. That was really remarkable, so that definitely has enhanced level from A level to B. I mean, from probably his capacity to respond to something wrong was X yesterday, and definitely after having deployed in place, it may be gone to the next level, right? So here is, can I have? Yes, just to set the context, I am taking the background. And this is what I think the concern what has been set by a couple of, Mr. Gopal definitely talked about that you are, I mean, lot of information, lot of systems which you need to deal with. There are multiple hardwares in place. Then you have got an applications like us, we have come in the next guy. And you have got, beyond this, you have got a lot of roles internally that who should be allowed, who shouldn't be allowed, whether the system which is being configured is working that way or not. So as an end user, you have got an n number of challenges in place, and how you are going to deal with it. So from end user's perspective, we say that if threats are of next generation, then obviously our preparedness also should be of that level. I mean, we should also reach out to the next generation security management system. So when we say what is a PSIM here, so the role of PSIM gets increasingly important here, and this is, so it should take care of the issues. Everything is get logged, incident, etc. at one place, so that you can be, go for you can save time probably, which otherwise getting involved into those activities later, compiling. So Solus is one of the answer which we are going to discuss, and let's see what is their specific. Okay, so first thing, the feature wise, it has got an integrated database. When I say integrated, that normally in an enterprise solution, you create a database, enrollment registration happens, and that data what you have created can be used for the multiple purposes. That is what is being given. So how this database which has been created as an integrated platform and can be used for the multiple purposes, I think we can see it on the next slides. Single ID is a very important feature, that if we create an ID for one purpose, identity, that can be used for multiple things using the common ID. And we continue that Solus helps you mapping all the identity related information from that person. As one gentleman was asking me a question that is there any system by which I can really identify that you are you? I mean, it's very difficult today to confirm in spite of having all the biometric information, whatever you have, but having maximum information available related to you, because today we have got tools, you have got beyond your name and card information, you have got your Aadhaar information which is available, you have social profiles which can be connected. So basically you can re-establish those identities, and once it has been created, that same identity which you have enrolled once can at the back end be strengthened by the different other IDs, so that to ensure that the ID created for the person can be utilized for the multiple purposes. Then we have got a request and approval, so entire system is based on the approval basis, whereby there is a detailed workflow inside, that in case if something goes wrong and if any incident is being captured, and how at what stage it start getting escalated, and how the entire closure SOP is being defined into the system, and if it has to pass through the different levels, if A is not acting onto that, how it is reached to the B, and if not B, and what is the entire closure procedure, that's what we cover into it. It also has got a notification and alerts which is available by way of an SMS or on a mobile app, so that it can tell you that in case if something critical is there which you can configure, and so that those specific thing can reach out to you. It has gotten some dynamic reporting available, and there are certain dashboards which are, you can keep it for your review, so which quickly tells you if any pattern changes there, you can always take an action. And the command and control center, which has got, we already discussed about that, the same PSIM what we have, which helps you to know what went wrong, what to be done, what has happened, and what next to be done in that case. So the another good thing is that this system has gotten a different style of designing. I mean, we have made common as in a database, but as an user, the licensing model is something what you want today, you can always use it, and what you want for the future, always keep it later also, and whichever the module you want, you need to only pay for it. Now let's say you want to do access, a couple of our customers who say that we already have gotten a time attendance or a visitor management in place, but we want only access piece of it. So should we invest for entire thing? No, you need not to. You can only pick and choose that I want an access control and probably a contractor management with this PSIM, and you can get those licenses and get going, or a command and control center. So whichever thing you need, or you can scale it later also. So once the common database, the base system is being placed, you can always scale it as you go along. It has got a layered architecture because it has to talk to several subsystems at the back end. So obviously the core remains same, and you can always build upon, you can create multiple layers so that in case if you anything attach or detach, it does not disturb the internal system. So something like that. So first you have got a database layer which allows you to connect with any of the many of the RDBMS databases today, SQL or an Oracle or whichever you are using internally. It has got an application layer, as I talked already, that you have all that's been designed in total modular fashion. So all these features, whichever you want of your use, you can pick and select, and you can create your own PSIM or the system, the integrated security management, what we call. It has got these all functions available within it, which you can pick and choose. Then there is an application and integration layer is separate, which is being actually to exchange data. Obviously, the system what you put in place will be helpful only when you are automating the information, the flow to and fro from the systems which are already existent to your environment. It may be an Active Directory, or it may be an SAP, or you have got any HRMS tool or any other tool where you have already created either the employee information, and if you want to reuse the same into this system, you can well do it. And on top of it is a hardware integration where the system is inherently connected with our own access control panels or the hardware, but you can also connect it with even third-party systems, like we have talked about CCTV system. I'm going to talk in detail in the next slides. And even the building management systems, or even if the intrusion or a perimeter system what you have in place, that also you can link directly with the system. So 4 layers, I just repeat once again. There is a database layer, there is an application layer, there is application integration layer, and there is a hardware integration layer. So let's look at key block functions what we have. As I talked about, internally it has got one is identity and access manager. Second is the compliance management, because you have to set your security rules which you can configure within the system, and that system continuously keep checking if any of your transaction which is not based on the compliance setup what you have done, it can set you an alert separately. There is a security intelligence which we have put on. I mean, it has got kind of pattern matching algorithm internally, that you set a transactions that from a specific, for an example I am giving you, for a specific door, normally we receive 30 or 40 or 50 transactions in a day. If suddenly we have got a flow of, today it crossing 100 or something, so what has been wrong? So basically it's for a security, any pattern which is changing, it becomes cause of concern to really get into that. So it can pull your attention of anything which you think of as an abnormal, and finally will alert you, which probably you can take it up as an action and close it. In case if it is any issues there, fine, else it's been logged, it's everything alright. So that's the point. And identity and event correlation. At times we have got something has happened, and that point of time who was there, that is key information what we always look at. So how these two things can be quickly related so that the job of the security responder or the administrator can become easy. So this is the third important point. So these are the 4 blocks on which this entire business logic of this application has been designed. So we call it a policy server, iSolus policy server, which if you configure it onto this, it will continue to work as a backend engine, and then you will continue to get those specific alerts as we are talking about, and your job probably to great extent get into an automation mode. So security management getting into an automation mode is basically the objective of this entire PSI. So in terms of the connections, we have got an employees which they coming through HR database or a contractors or maybe a visitor. So these are 3 identities which normally get the transactions coming into the system, and then we have got facilities which are connected. Probably where you may have got a system deployed, it may be a biometric or a smart card based system or a time based kind of access management system also. So quickly into this slide, it will explain you the process flow. I think if you can see, okay, so this, the down below you are not able to see, I believe, because of this screen. So this is the registration happens here, and then we have got 3 profiles related to the user, maybe an employee or a visitor or maybe a vehicle tax. Finally they are getting into a different authentication places, and then we have got servers at the back. We are talking about the iSolus common server. We also recommend the failover so that the availability to the user PC, admin, or even on a mobile phone, the information is directly available. So this is just a block diagram for you to understand that we have got and we can do a different integrations also, LDAP, BMS or other things. Yes, just to look at from a different other angle, all the components which has been put it here in a more clearer way, that we have got a common is at the top iSolus server, which is connected with the failover server, so they are like in a sync all the time. We have got a video management system or any other system may be working, so there also data exchange happens. We have the video management server, maybe here our friend Milestone sits, and we have a data exchange information happens here. Finally, there is a LAN tube. This is an important area where we do a first time enrollment, the registration, which is a key to set up your base system. And this get connected with your door controller. This is a Solus manufactured product. You can have this access controller controlling your doors by way of connecting lock or connecting your reader, and the person is using it here, and finally this transaction is getting into an iSolus mode. And we have, you can use probably a turnstile. We have got an interesting photo display feature where the information who's using biometric here, the security guard may be standing here, is interested to see the picture and information. Once the biometric happens, you can directly see the picture, entire data information, whatever has been set into the server is being shown onto this photo display. So this authentication point become easy. And at the end, it is all being driven by the Solus controllers. You can also connect this with a kind of full-light turnstile, and we can use the same setup for even vehicle access also, where the vehicles are given a tag, you are operating a boom barrier, and there is a long-range reader which has been installed, and then finally the transaction is coming it through, and all the transaction is setting it up at this iSolus server. So, and here we are talking about admin PC. Users may be accessing the information, whatever the transactions which they are doing at all these authentication points. Finally, they are able to see, and they can also do a lot of other stuff when they are in like a time attendance or something. They can also apply for leave and do kind of T&A related things. So a lot of transactions user initiated can also happen. User can view the information, and at times as I was talking about that access to your access control system is better because you yourself can know that where all you are supposed to allowed and where all you are not allowed. So we allow even in case if your corporate policy permits, so we can have we can give access to even employees also to see the. Sorry?
Are you developing any such application if employee?
Can I?
Hi, my name is Ejaz. I am from Wipro, Operations and Delivery.
In general, most of the employees forget their ID cards and mobiles most of the time in day-to-day in hurry mode. Are you developing any such application through this picture, like if he forgets access card or mobile, like mobile application to access through the doors and some security? Is there any? Are you planning in future?
See, unfortunately, security and convenience do not come hand in hand. You know? So if you want to be secure, you have to get risk somewhere. So that's the point is that if you really want to have the transaction get recorded, some discipline has to come in. Yes, we need to work something to look for an user convenience is, if you have forgotten ID card, maybe you have mobile app as an option where your credential is available on mobile app, that option is available. But now you're saying, I forgot the ID card, I forgot the mobile phone also, why when you are coming to office then? Okay, so that's the point. But still, I'll say that in this case, as a technology point of view, we can look at having a PIN information. Just a minute. The keypad information, the PIN and biometric based options are there. They have got their own challenges in terms of, if you say that only finger is being put on and I can get an access, it has its own limitation. It cannot go beyond a user database, and for Wipro definitely it cannot, because of the mammoth size of 130,000 employee base what you carry along. So answer is something that as on now there is no clear.
Yeah, Hari, this is Mike here from Wipro. So I was just thinking loud and putting the tail up and head down on this particular issue instead of having biometric and keypad. If you see from layman's perspective, at the end of the day, my card is reading. The solution I'm talking about, which Infosys have as of now.
Yeah.
You swipe your card and your template gets loaded, your biometric. So your card is a unique identity. So instead of that, if I am given a 6-digit number which I need to memorize, fine. So I come key in that number and my template gets loaded. It's read. So I get an authentication.
Correct.
For the vehicle, I was seeing the Samsung solution. We issue a paper-based sticker to the employees for vehicle identification, which is a passive thing. We did a POC for an RFID thing. Again, we need to issue something to the user apart from whatever is the identity of the vehicle and whatever is there in the vehicle. So here we have automated number plate recognition. The system will need to know the number of the vehicle. It automatically reads it and allows. So I don't need to carry any card. I don't need to carry any kind of device, RFID, NFC, nothing. I just walk into the campus, key in my number, my biometric is there, I get an access, my vehicle comes to the campus. So my vehicle number is already there. Automated number plate recognition identifies the number, allows me in. So why don't we think onto those things, non-hardware, especially when we talk about access control, why do we require a card, or why do we require an NFC, or why do we require anything? Whatever I'm carrying one person, that's my body, my biometrics. Vehicle has its own identity in the form of standard number plates. So we need to think into those lines also.
You're right. Even I wish that probably if that solution exists, why I should carry this all along.
No, it's not about existing. So even we did not exist at some point in time.
Yeah, I agree.
So what I'm trying to say is we should think a little loud.
Yeah, I agree with. But what I can tell you today is the reality what exists today's world. Probably the future, if something we get something like that, nothing. Maybe someday we will have it. But today, even correlating any biometric identity, you need a number. So you need to memorize even that number also. Aadhaar system also, which works actually, it's relating your biometric template information to your specific number which has been given. Without that number, you will not be able to use that as well. So some activity is required to be done to get yourself identified as on date, rather than, I'm sure that there is a face recognition is also being talked about, but I'm yet to see where you just walking through from a passage and you'll be identified clearly and without any error or a mistake, and your access has been granted based on that, and how secure it would be. Probably that system is yet to pass on its own maturity cycle.
So yeah, that's why we bring in this dual authentication. The card is there to reduce that latency time of getting the template of a face or a biometric.
Yeah.
So yeah, you are right. When you are talking about, say, Aadhaar, the size is too huge. So the digit is like 10, 12 digits. But when you are talking about an organization, the digits could be lesser, maybe 6 or 7 or something. So it can be thought over, what kind of end result we are expecting. So
Yeah,
it can be thought over.
Associated with keypad, we already have got, but we have seen, I mean, where employee can come in and they have your employee ID because ID you anyway remember.
Yeah.
We make it even more standardized that every employee and his mobile number we are mapping into the site. So your mobile you may not forget ever, right? So you come straight away, put up your mobile system, will understand that it is you, and then it will ask you to do your biometric authentication. But the problem is that at times, I'm talking about the one live project which we executed, once we implemented the system and we had to roll it back because the people punching 10 numbers onto the system is far longer than tapping a card. It's in a practical way, it takes lesser time to go through. So that's the reason this system doesn't work. However, I mean, point remains that we need to choose and compare the different options available in today's time, and probably out of that the best suits to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay, asking this question.
Sorry, use the last 5 digits.
Sorry?
Instead of 10, use the last 5 digits.
I mean, it depends. For Wipro, it may not work because there are 130,000. So if number of people are less, then probably it will. Okay, so whatever I have told, I just sum it up into a very quick video for you. Can you just play this video? So anyway, by the time he plays the video, I'll go on to the next one. You can at least start the video. So this is a command and control center. I mean, we just talked about this PSIM. Solus. I think this is showing. Okay. In the meantime, we have a time available, and we have deployed already this command and control center to one of our customer. I mean, I'm fortunate to have Mr. Firoz Mistry here from Tata Power, and he's been responsible for e-security division there, and he's been instrumental in setting up an entire automation among 2,000 plus cameras and it's 1,200 cameras if I'm not wrong, and about 2,000 plus access readers spread across 7 locations in the transaction, and finally it has been maintained and managed. I mean, the PSIM which is working and finally getting connected with the couple of subsystems like access control, CCTV, visitor management, the guard tour, and your video analytics also. So finally, I just, sir, if you can share your experience that before and after PSIM implementation, how it has been helpful for your security team after doing this so much of implementation, please, sir.
The command and control center is basically an integration of all the security systems that we have. In today's day and age, we have so many systems, like you mentioned, the IP surveillance, access control, even things like our servers and all need to be managed. If those are not managed, your cameras don't work, your access control doesn't work. what we have done is integrated all the alarms that are generated by all these different systems and put them into the command and control center. This makes it easier for the security people to monitor the thing. For example, if you have around, even if you have something as low as 100 cameras, even if your analytics and all are deployed on it, what is he going to monitor? He is bound to miss certain triggers which are very important. However, if you have a command and control, it helps you identify what is important for you. Not just from the user perspective, even things like, disk space low, or say somebody disconnecting a camera is shown up on the command and control. So this is how it makes it very simple for us. It also generates proper MIS for us. How many alerts that come, how many of them were important, how many of them had high priority, what action was taken when those alarms were generated. For example, a high level alert, there has to be some action. How do you know whether the person has taken action on it or not? It's only the command and control which will be able to tell you that action was taken on that or not. So this is how it basically helps us.
In terms of time to response, like I've been connected with the project, so I know that even any visitor visiting the facility, which has got a lot of critical areas, there's a power plant and you have got a high voltage electricity which has been going through certain areas which are totally restricted for a newcomer or user. So security has to be in a very tight alert that even if even an attempt is there, that has to be immediately addressed and someone approaches.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I meant when I said that all the alarms are integrated into one place. It helps the operator take a decision. If there are 10 different systems lying on his table, he is not going to know which one to attend to first.
Yes.
So not only time wise but also criticality wise, what is important, what should be done first, that decision is already done by the command and control in terms of giving priorities. So it makes his life much easier that this is what I need to attack first, this is what I need to do second. On the other hand, if he's missed it out, if he's not taken action, that comes up in the MIS.
Okay. So what information is being aided by the system for the person who responds as in a first line? Now let's say along with alarm, what is all he's able to see or get as in that?
Absolutely all the alarms. For example, even the technical alarms, which start from your disk space being low on a hard disk, or say a camera being disconnected somewhere, a network overflow, too much of data going on a particular network, not being able to keep up, frame rates being dropped. Every such detail, every single detail, apart from of course the user level detail, which says that which door is kept open, who has tried to enter, which door where he was not supposed to go, which analytic has got triggered off, why has it got triggered off, all those details come.
Thank you so very much. I think here is a live example where we are talking, there's a lot of debate going on, securing the security infrastructure, and we have a live case here which is going on. Okay, so Sandesh, if you can, we are spread.
Risk of such threats grows up when attackers are aware of being unidentified and unmonitored. Effective security management in a large multi-location enterprise is a challenging task. Thousands of employees receive hundreds of visitors like vendors, contractors, and VIP customers daily. Security administrators need an efficient system where first-time enrollment is quicker and repeat access thereafter is smooth for valid people, while no unauthorized entry is allowed, so that productivity is maximized without compromising on security. Solus is an integrated security platform that effectively manages a company's security operations, utilizes web browser interface with a built-in early warning mechanism that monitors operations non-stop, identifies a suspect story, and notifies you with precise information to respond. It generates intelligent and informed timely alerts for administrators on computer and on mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. This enables quicker and guided response system in emergency situations, making life easier for security administrators, secure for employees, and productive for the company. iSolus enrolls all employees and business visitors on a common database using their IDs and biometrics, then grants permissions to access areas based on their role with a workflow-based automated approval system. iSolus allows interactive user and device management over fully integrated management modules, including access control, visitor access, IP CCTV, contract workman, guard tour, photo display, perimeter fencing and fire alarm, attendance, canteen, and so on. Email, SMS, and mobile notifications are enabled on a centralized command and control center, having interactive dashboard and mobile app as extension. For a free assessment to plan iSolus for your facility, call us today at 080808 14500 or email sales@solus.co.in.
So I think this was in a brief about everything. I'm specifically covering for the interest of all here the IP, iSolus and CCTV integration, some of the screens, how they look like, and how they actually help or how they actually work onto it. So I'll quickly run you through. Sorry about this. Okay, so there are quick key features. It is actually a fully integrated access control, alarm management, and intrusion detection. And there's a live video feed while monitoring the access control event and a graphical map display you are able to see. We talked yesterday. And there is a visual verification of the events and live or recorded even video clips. So we can see the live clips, and when we go into the transaction, we can also play back the clips which are associated with that specific event. And there are remote control door activities. Now let's say if we are seeing a door which is, now let's say some person is trying to get an access, and it's a distant door or something where you want to, sitting on the software command, and you want to open that door. That value you can do by having these integration, because CCTV is giving you real-time information of that specific door in terms of taking a decision of manual locking and unlocking along with the record. And there is a sitemap import, and so we have got a graphical interface where we can import site-specific maps, which, so again the responder can see clearly that this is a site and this is the place where some incident has happened. I mean somebody's, whatever incident has happened, the location of that, as well as, so it gives a more clarity for him to respond, as well as remote interaction with access control system. So this is how live view look like, where you are onto the door. So that this camera which has been arming onto the door, and the person who's passing through every access transaction. So you can always see it from the video point. And here you can see the person who's trying to get an access here, and so here is it's a feed from the video live coming in, and here is the information about the person who's been passing through. So the anyone who's monitoring this system, he can have this information together, and based on the event, the display of card holder details and other information does appear here. And the good feature is here, in case if you can come to our the live system, we can show that if you click the button at the top end, now let's say if any person which you see, and you want to see entire the tracking of that person, which all doors etc. he has been gone through for some last time, you can always see by the click of the button. Okay, and this is about the live view. Okay, so there are independent toggle. I mean, you can quickly see this is the live going on, and if you toggle onto this, immediately it will give you the current view. So current view and the incident view, you can say, okay sir, if some incident happened, but right now what is the situation? If you want to compare the between two, you can quickly do without going into a different pens. You can also create a quick snapshot of either of the live view or the next one and send it over. Today we have got, we can send over email or in a communication or even over on a mobile, it can be sent across. So, okay. This is an alarm manager interface what we are talking. So there are the different alarms, the location of that alarm here and the video feed and the video snapshot. So all these 3-4 information put together in a one common place, it helps to deal with. So these are the few action points which can be taken with every alarm. And here are the access control event points which are coming through. If you can see, you can filter sort them with a different ways and you can create a visual. Immediately if you click onto any of the incident, you can always get more information related to that, and it can play back that recorded video. You can see it's a clip which is for a specific time for the duration where this entire episode has happened. So linked with access control, a quick playback that actually who was the person who attempted or tried using the door. So this is how every time you need not to go back and forth into once in CCTV system and once in access control, it's all together here. And here is the report generation where even reports has become more lively. You just apply the filters that way you want to generate the report and export to a PDF file. You can select the source this, and this is how your report look like with all even real pictures and photograph along with it. So it's, we have got here the few user references we have been using. So quickly about Solus. We are about 14 years now and doing specifically access control or auto ID based solutions. Specific access control, we have gotten a hub at Bangalore and where we do all integrated, it's a kind of lab where we do design, develop and test all our devices as well as we have factory there. And we have gotten a DSIR recognized R&D center in-house, and we invest every year is about 30% of our profits back to R&D. So this is how we are positioned, and last 14 years we are growing at a rate of about 30% CAGR. We have a global support center. We have got a customer even out of India, so which we support across and at all these locations. Now, just to summarize, why Solus? We are definitely in terms, we have the 100% Indian company, so the cost advantage we can offer to end users here, and any international brand which probably offers today the same feature set, we are definitely about 30% the cost advantage which we give, and about 130 cities, towns, retail, we have our presence. Service response is something we have got in a very structured service delivery, after sales service model where you can have an access to an online system and you can generate a ticket. The independent enterprise, the customer support department, they continue and they close. Their performance is based on the tickets is being closed in a quicker manner, and they have been evaluated by. They are also going a service delivery certification internally. So this is any questions in case if you have. So this was all about me. I think I have been all time. So if you have not, then I have a small thrill from, I think in my introduction you have talked about I have been a skydiver. So there is some thrill from the skies. It's all for you. Can you play this please? With a beautiful message in it.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Hariom. That's indeed quite a thrill to look at. And once again, would like to thank each and everyone here. Not forgetting to remind you that all work and no play perhaps makes every Jack and Jill seated here a dull person. So must tell you that this evening we have a wonderful gala dinner planned for you. We have an amazing singer who's going to be entertaining you all of the evening. His name is Rohan Sequeira. He's here with his band, performed all over India. He's an MC as well as a singer, so don't forget to be on time to have a whole lot of fun. And of course, like I told you a while back, if you want to experience Goa, you got two options. If you're flying out between 12 and 2, you need to go with option 1 that will take you to Basilica of Born Jesus, where you can actually see St. Francis Xavier's body. And that is a tour that would leave at 8 a.m. tomorrow from the lobby. But to register, you need to go to the registration desk that's outside this evening after the conference right now. And when you travel, you need to go with your bags because there's a drop to the airport right after that. The option 2 is for those flying out between 3 and 5 p.m. Well, you get Donna Paula, you get the Basilica of Born Jesus, and you get to see the capital city of Goa, Panjim. So you can go and register for that as well. The same would leave at 8 a.m. in the morning. So don't forget to have a good time. It was nice being with you all. Thank you and have a good evening. Oh yes, and you also need to take away a little takeaway, a token of appreciation whilst you leave. So don't forget to take that to add on to some more fabulous memories. Thank you. Okay, before you leave, ladies and gentlemen, we want one nice group photograph of you all. So we'll request each and everyone to come and assemble here quickly. So we have the shorter ones in front, of course, and everybody taller behind. Yeah, maybe we can have one of you all seated, the next one standing, and so on and so forth.